Respected Venkatesham sir, respected Director TS NAB, Shri Sandeep Chandeliya sir, respected CP Hyderabad, Shri Srinivas Reddy sir, Man sir, Dev Sena madam, all the members of Hyderabad City Security Council, Bharni ji, Chaitanya ji and Shrikant ji and all the other members, all the officers of Hyderabad City Police, the media members and all the representatives of the respective schools. I think the teachers and some correspondents, some managers, probably some principals are also present. So good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you. So first of all, I would thank CP Hyderabad for being very thoughtful of conducting this program, which is really the need of the hour, sir, generating awareness regarding the drugs. Because, this is one thing that has been really bothering us. Being in the police department, so we have really been very, very concerned about it. And then I would also thank all the school representatives, coming in such large number. The response has been really overwhelming. We had a very short notice to inform some of the schools, so but I see that while I was coming, I saw many of the members sitting outside also. There's a house full on the top also I was seeing. So thank you for coming here on a Sunday. For this program, and even though the school examinations are going on, so I think it must have been a special effort from your side. Now, talking about the issue, already the speakers before me have touched upon the issue in a very comprehensive way. Few things from my side which I would want to mention. I have a daughter who's a teenager. She's about 16-year-old, and she's also undergoing the 11th class exams now. And when I think about this issue, because being in the police department, having so much interface with the public, we get people from all walks of life, from all sections of the society, and coming across this particular problem again and again, I feel this really concerns us. Concerns me in particular, I feel, because this is something that bothers me. This is something that I feel that I am really, this is something that I should be concerned about. And I also believe that since all of you have come here today, I believe that at some level you also believe, I'm sure all of you have your children. Some of them might be in that age group, some of them might have been grown up also. But being members of the society at large and being members of education system, this is something that should bother all of us. So coming here today, for this program, that itself shows that you acknowledge that this is a problem that that concerns all of us. So for that, that is really thanks to all of you. We are talking about, a generation. It's not that we are talking, when we talk about India, we say India is a very young country. We have all youngsters here, large population, and we also talk about India is growing, India is developing, economic power and everything. But what about our generation for tomorrow, right? So where are we going and what are they doing? Are we really bothered about them? So this particular issue, when we are talking about an entire generation which is getting impacted, which is getting affected negatively, by a menace which is assuming very alarming proportions now. So I'm sure you must have been, reading in the media, you must have been watching movies, your children also do that. Now, we are living in a society where, we talk about information, we talk about knowledge. Everybody is, very, very, very well versed with the technology, including all of us, including our children also. They are even much, much smarter than us, which is a good thing. Embracing technology for something healthy, it's a good thing. But at the same time, that personal touch, that is missing. Now, we are having schools here. When I see the advertisements for the schools, I have also been visiting many schools for some programs, for their annual functions or different other activities, sometimes simply to interact with the children also. Some schools do invite us, and we try to connect to the students, interact with them. My observation is that generally the schools take a lot of pride saying that, we are very high-tech schools now, we use a lot of technology, we have a lot of good infrastructure, we are having good logistics, we are having the classes which are digital classrooms, all those things, all the schools. When we see the newspaper advertisements, the only thing that they compete about is their academic results. Isn't it? We are number one. Even if you see the coaching centers also, I don't want to name any, of course, but we always see the students, some students standing there with number 1, 2 and all. This is what we usually see. But then are we really concerned about the children, at the personal level? having come from the generation, because now I believe that being too senior in the service also, and so many juniors coming in the service below, so I feel I'm from the earlier generation now, and having observed how the society has been evolving over the last couple of decades, my observation is that there has been a lot of change in the parent and the child relationship. The children, the parents nowadays are not much aware of what their children are doing. It may not be true for everybody. I'm just talking about the general trend. But largely, as already the factors mentioned by the previous speakers, but we see that personal touch, otherwise, when we were children, we used to come back. The moment we throw our bags, we would talk to our parents. We will discuss what is happening in the school. We would, discuss the entire, whatever activities we have been doing, we have done. Our children used to be completely aware of who are our friends, what we are doing, where we are going, for what purpose. All that company, we used to happily share with them. They used to listen also. And then by and large, whenever we are going out, where we are going, everything used to be known. Now the children are, they are very tech savvy, though they are all on the social media. So, that kind of friendships that they have, the kind of chat that they do, nobody really knows what they are doing. This has become a very regular phenomenon. I'm sure your children are also using all these smartphones and all. And having little improvement in our economic status also, we are giving pocket money to our children. So we don't know what exactly children are doing. Now we see day in and day out, we have the cases where children are committing suicides, where children are eloping away from the houses. The parents are not aware, and of course they are getting they are getting involved in these kind of incidents of the drugs. The second thing is there is also a change in the relationship between the teachers and the students. We with very high regards and respect for the teachers, because we always saw our teachers. Thanks to some technology that we are in touch with many of our teachers now, after many decades, we could connect to them. So we always saw them, as a very respectable, fatherhood figure. Like we always treated them as our gurus, and the kind of the naturally whenever we used to talk, and they used to, a lot of care used to happen. But in the schools nowadays, the children, sometimes the children may be in the hostels, or they are staying in the residential schools, or otherwise as day scholars also. But in the school, that peer group is there, children, but teachers, the connect between the teacher and the student, there is a slight communication gap has come. That is what I have been observing. So this particular program, which has been taken up, in fact, in the entire state, we are having an outreach now to all the educational institutions. So this particular program is an attempt to reach out to you, to look up for your support and the cooperation from your side, because this is something which we believe is a shared responsibility. It's not that something I alone will do, but as members of the society, as the custodians of the next generation, or children, generally sometimes we say that हाँ ठीक है, children बच्चे हैं ना, हमको हमारी बात नहीं सुनते हैं ना. We don't know. The children, we have born the children, they've been born out of us, but we don't own up their ideas. We don't own up their belief system, their decisions. We have no control over them. But the fact is, what kind of environment you gave to them, what kind of belief system, they were all born up. The family is the primary agency of socialization, isn't it? Which is the next one? It is the school. After family, it is the school, and we all acknowledge that children, they spend large amount of their time in the schools, socializing with their other students, other kids, and with the teachers, and doing different types of activities. And during this entire process, it is not only the academic things that they learn, but it is actually the character building which happens. Their entire personality develops out of it. The attitude, what kind of attitude they will have towards life, and whether they will become the respectable, law-abiding, duty-bound citizens. It all depends on what kind of culture, what kind of environment we are giving to them. So to that extent, it is our responsibility. Yes, so if we give them good values and good culture, obviously, when they become adults, they will be able to judge. You will not be there all the time to look after them, isn't it? So some teachers may say, "Humko nahi pata hai." School, sometimes the school will say कि हमको तो पता नहीं है, हमारे पास तो 2 बजे तक होता है. After 2 o'clock the child is going back home and we don't know what is, we don't know. They are carrying schools, their cell phones in their pockets or in their bags, so we don't know what they are doing, right? But then did we give them enough comfort so that they could express themselves, they could communicate to us regarding any issues, any problems? So that is something that we need to really bother about. So that conscience is required, that awareness is required. You know, we know a lot about drugs. We know all this, what the drugs are. We know what are the ill effects of the drugs. You have seen, I'm sure you have seen that movie Urta Punjab also. And many other movies, so many Hollywood movies also. So we know all those things. But that awareness, you know, that conscience that this subject affects all of us. And there is something that we can do about it and we must do something about it. Right? So that is one thing that this program is all about. The awareness, generating the awareness. And as already mentioned, the clubs, the anti-drug societies, the purpose is that, you know, the representatives from the schools or the children, the students themselves, they can come forward, they can become the partners with us to, you know, stop this menace, to control this menace. So thank you, sir, for inviting for this program and all the other members of HCSC. And thank you, everybody. I hope we look forward to good cooperation from all of you, and probably in your respective schools, whenever we have an opportunity to visit, we will definitely connect. Thank you, everybody.